It's time to nut up. Oh, shut up. You know what? We gotta update that line. Slip, slap, sloopy. Here comes the poopy. You know, that feels a lot better. What's going on, everybody? Jared here with another long overdue sequel of a movie review, and we're continuing with the October Halloween costume spooktacular. And today I'm Marty McFly with the vest and the jacket and the shirt, and I'm sure this is gonna get green screened out, but I got the hoverboard and everything. Look at that. Woo! Anyways, I went out to a movie and finally they made a sequel for it. You know, Zombieland came out in 2009. Finally, they have a sequel, Zombieland Double Tap. Zombie slayers Tallahassee, Columbus, Wichita, and Little Rock square off against the newly evolved undead. So does this long overdue sequel capture the magic of the original? Let's find out. But before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of Zombieland Double Tapped, if you were able to check this one out, and were you a fan of the original? Now let's get into some of the good. So the original Zombieland came out 10 years ago, 2009, and the core cast in this movie has obviously aged up that 10 years. And the thing is, they step right back into these roles like it was a week. And I guess the biggest plus of this movie is they pick up sort of right after where they left off. It's not specified how many years entirely, but the world is the same. It's evolved a little bit. I'll get into that later. But the characters, the world, the setup, all of this really picks up from the original, but then they also evolve things a bit. The zombies, that's the biggest thing, is the evolution of the zombies. In the original, there's a handful of different ones. In this one, right off the bat, they kind of specify that they each have kind of evolved into a different strain or a different characteristic, or even something far worse. So I love how they kept the original stuff that you love from the first Zombieland, but they expanded upon it, almost like a sequel video game with different kind of zombies coming into the mix. And the core cast is obviously in this, but they expanded it out a little bit more with a few added characters. The ones that come to mind are Luke Wilson, Rosario Dawson, but the one character that was the standout, absolutely adorable, she is a gem, is Zoey Deutch. In the trailers, I thought that she was going to be this annoying, ditzy, blonde character that's going to have a laugh here or there, and just be, honestly, this drag on this Zombieland Double Tapped. But my God, she was my favorite part of this movie, because she comes into it and she is this ditzy blonde, but her timing, her line delivery, the portrayal of this just glossed over blonde ditzy girl is perfect. She's probably the best part of this movie, because she comes into this core cast and blends in with them perfectly, annoying them, having the spotlight. And again, though, the times that she's on screen, she absolutely steals it, which her character ties in with the overall humor of the movie that they do with the rest of the group. It's very self-aware. Obviously, it's playing in with the humor of the first movie, with all of the different rules, and then there's other characters that come in that might have a different set of rules that might differ from this set of rules. So I loved how it was very self-aware. There's also kind of raunchy stuff. There's one-liners. It has the humor of the original, and kind of, again, expands upon that as well. And this would not be a Zombieland movie if it wasn't for the action. Obviously, in the first one, you had some good zombie action, and right off the bat, this movie starts off with this very cinematic, slow-motion action set piece, just showing the spectacular of zombie killing, I guess. And I love that aspect of the movie. I mean, I wouldn't say that there is a ton of action in this movie, but there's one scene specifically that stood out to me, because not only is the action crafted very well, but the cinematography following this fight through all of these different areas with the people, kind of just choreographing all of that, felt very spectacular. And however, getting into the negatives, I'm not gonna knock this movie that much for it, but it took me a good 20 to 30 minutes to fully get into this movie. I don't know if it was the speakers in the theater, or the characters, or the chemistry that I haven't seen in a long time. I mean, it all worked together, but there was just something off that didn't entirely hook its claws into me from the get-go. So it took a little bit for me to get into Double Tap. And closing the movie out, I'm not going to spoil anything at all, but there's one final scene that plays into kind of some jokes in this movie, some jokes in the first movie, and I get what they were going for, and I know that I'm in the minority for this. A lot of people in my theater were laughing. I'm sure a lot of you guys fully enjoyed this scene, but I felt like it was very much tacked on after the fact, was 100% not necessary, and kind of detracted what the final conclusion to the movie was. Again, it's going to be me. You go in, you make your own opinion on this, but please, please let me know if you like this scene or did not like this scene. Overall, Zombieland 2 Double Tap scratches that 10-year itch that you've been waiting for a sequel, with it jumping right back into the Zombieland world with the chemistry and the characters and everything you're used to, bringing in some brand new characters, bringing in the same humor, but also expanding upon that humor and some great action set pieces, but with it taking me a little bit to get into the movie and an end scene that felt very much tacked on. I'd recommend checking out Zombieland Double Tapped. Again, this is right there in the same realm as Zombieland the original, so if you're a fan of the original, you're absolutely gonna love this Zombieland Double Tapped. In closing, I'm gonna give Zombieland Double Tapped 3.5 out of 5 double taps. So what did you guys think of Zombieland Double Tapped if you were able to check this out? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Watch some more videos up there, you know, movie reviews, trailer reactions, fun comedy skits. I think tomorrow there should be a couple Netflix movie reviews coming out, and then later on in the weekend, not entirely sure, but stay tuned for all of that stuff. Follow all of my social media, click that subscribe button. It seriously helps me out, and until next time, I'll see you later.